This is a kind of trendy bowl, but a different kind of trendy bowl. Yours is very new age and space age. This is back down to earth. This is what I grew up eating. Curry laksa. Oh, I grew up in Malaysia, and this is the sort of stuff that my mum would put on the table. Now, I'm going to do a version of it with some noodles and some prawns and some chicken. But to start with, you need to have a really good stock. Now, what I've got over here is a simmering stock with some chicken in there, some chicken bones. I've put some celery, some onions, some garlic in there, some ginger. And I'm going to make a prawn laksa. So all the shells and their heads are going to go into the stock and flavour it up. Prawn shells go off really, really quickly, so you either want to use them quickly or get rid of them straight away. Now, what I'll do is pop that into the stock pot there, Rosie. I'll hand that over to you. And to flavour that stock and give it a sort of curry sort of flavour, I've got
It's all about flavour, the laksa, isn't it?
It is, it is. I've got some curry paste here. I'm going to put a bit of red curry paste, stir that around, and you can see it's starting to colour and flavour that stock already. This will simmer away nicely for a few minutes. I'll turn it up a little bit, and you can see the chicken on the top there.
Yep.
That's already cooked. It's been simmering for about 2 hours, and I'll add the prawn heads to it. I'll let it simmer away with the prawn heads, you know, for 15, 20 minutes. Now, in my pot here, I'm going to start making the laksa soup, or the soup base. I've got some ginger over there and some garlic. Grab your knife out and chop them up. I've also got some snow peas. You can cut them up. We'll add them at the last minute. Some mushrooms. They've got these beautiful little baby king browns.
Beautiful.
They are nice. Cut them in half or quarters. Spring onions and coriander are also going to go in there. But to get it going, I've got some curry leaves, and these are curry leaves that you can buy from any sort of grocery store. They've got a great smell to them. I've also got a knife and some chilli, red and green chilli. I'm just going to slice it up. You could take the seeds out of it if you want, but I'm just going to slice it on an angle. The soup I want to be nice and chunky, and I'm going to leave everything sort of really rough. I'll take the core out of the onion, and I'm just going to slice it around the outside like this. When I slice it like this, Rosie, all the little onion pieces fall apart, but they still stay in long strips. But by taking the core out of it, it allows it to fall apart. Now, I've got my pot on. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil to the base. That is nice and hot, which is good because it's going to get things going really, really quickly. In goes the onion, in goes the curry leaves, the chilli, and the garlic and the ginger. Now, the garlic and the ginger, you've left it quite chunky, which is what I want. I actually want to be able to pick it up with my spoon and hook into it.
Goodness.
Exactly. And all I do is stir that round, and then I'll just take a minute or so. Once this is sweated down a little bit, Rosie, I'll add my curry powder and my Laksa curry paste, and we'll get some flavour kicking in this pot. Now you can see, Rosie, it's softened up a little bit, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, I've got some curry powder, which is something that I like to use. A little teaspoon of curry powder gives you that curry flavour as well.
And the colour as well, good colour.
Exactly. And I've also got some Malaysian Laksa paste, which you can use, which gives it a fantastic flavour.
What's good is you don't have to go to all these different shops and get all the different ingredients, kind of rare ingredients, when it's all there in there.
There we go. Stir it all up, and you can see it wants to cook. It's actually making a lot of noise. And I'll pop these out of the way over here. I'm going to put some coriander in there. I'll take off the roots, which have got a lot of dirt in them usually, so you have to make sure you wash your coriander really well. In goes the coriander, in goes the spring onion. I'll give that a little bit of a stir around. Look at that, that's coming up beautifully.
Smelling good.
Now I'm going to add some liquid straight from the pot here. What I do is just put the ladle on the side there and pour it straight into the bowl. Take it straight out of there. And you can see the prawn heads are already cooked. Now, if you want to pop those mushrooms straight in there, I'll let you pop them in there. And also the coconut milk. If you can pour the coconut milk into the Laksa broth, and we'll get that nicely up to the boil. I'll just keep ladling this till I've got it nearly up to the handles, which will make a beautiful amount of stock or soup base for my Laksa. Now, Rosie, you can see my soup base has come up to the boil, and I'll just have a little taste of it. It's always a good idea to have a taste as you're cooking, just to make sure everything is coming on nicely.
Watch out, it's hot.
Oh, that is really good. I'll turn that down to a gentle simmer. Now I'm just going to add my noodles in. These are udon noodles. They cook really, really quickly. 3 to 4 minutes and they should be done. Into the pot they go. And I'm going to add some prawns to it. I know the prawns cook in about 3 minutes, so they'll be cooked at the same time. I've made sure those prawns are deveined as well. And I've got some chicken. I pulled some chicken meat out of the stock and pulled it apart a little bit. Left it fairly chunky. That's going to go straight into the soup as well.
So I could do this with tofu or tempeh.
You could do it with tofu, tempeh, eggplant,
more mushrooms,
zucchini, all those sorts of things. And in goes the snow peas. I'm just going to stir that around a little bit. This will come back up to the boil, and by the time it's come back up to the boil, everything will be cooked, and I'll just be able to put it into a bowl and cook into it. Rosie, you can see it's come to the boil and everything's cooked.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take it out and pop it into the bowl. I'm just going to use some tongs, and what I do with the tongs, I pull the noodles out, and you can see there's a few prawns coming out of there as well.
I knew there was a strategy.
Exactly. There's a lot of thinking involved in this.
Yep.
And then with my ladle, I'll just pull out the liquid and pour it around the outside. And I'll also grab some mushrooms, some snow peas, some prawns. Make sure you get plenty of prawns in there.
So first up, you can fish out all the things you really like.
Exactly.
And not leave much for anyone else.
You've worked that one out.
That's not the way I think.
Ah, there we go.
That's not the way I think.
Pour that on there. And this is where you dress it up, or as you like to say, put your toppers on.
Yep.
I've got some bean curd sitting on the side here, a few
Lovely.
pieces like that. Some coriander as well, some spring onions go on top, some bean shoots on the side here, deep fried shallots to make it nice and crispy. I pour on some coconut cream.
Richen it up, or richo it up even
more. There we go. Nice bit of coconut cream on the side there, a little bit on there. It also helps to cool down the chilli in there, because I know it's really, really hot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to hook into the side of it, have a little bit of the broth, and I know if I've
taste.
got the broth right, I'm going to have a beautiful laksa.
Now, I want to try this because I know that they do... Oh, you're taking a moment. You okay?
You do all the talking.
I know they do a vegetarian version for the laksa paste, which is brilliant because it just means that it doesn't have the shrimp paste, which means that we can all enjoy it.
You can have your vegetarian version. I'll have my prawn and chicken version every time.
You're quite happy, aren't you?
Rosie, I think we've done some great bowls. Yours was really wacky and way off the charts, but fantastic. But for me, this is what brings me home. This is something my mother would make for me. In fact, I almost think it's better than my mum's.
Well, I'd quite happily have mine for breakfast, yours for dinner. Perfect.